It's a double feature cab cam coming at you here today. Joel Norwood here for the Ohio AgNet. This cab cam series brought to you by the folks at Precision Agri-Services, Inc. More information at precisionagriservices.com. We're in Preble County, outside of the big town of Camden at Vonderhaar Farms. The A-Team is what we're going to be calling this video because we're in the cab with Adam Vonderhaar doing some burn down, and we'll soon be in the cab with his dad, Alan Vonderhaar. And so, Adam, thanks for letting us come out. How's it going?
It's going really good, Joel. You know, in a typical year, it's usually Adam and Alan doing all the burn down together and then proceeding to do, get into planting. But the conditions have been so dry and good here in Preble County, we've decided to split up. And it's a good year to have my brother-in-law join the family in the work operation. Malik's been running my tender truck for burn down and giving Dad a chance to get some beans planted, and it's working out pretty good. It was a good time for him to come into the fold.
Well, we'll talk about the family in a moment.
Sure.
We can cover some serious acreage with this sprayer. What's a good day in the sprayer for you?
A good day in this, and I don't know if I've had a good day yet, but on a big one, I can probably cover about 450 acres. We're getting something done, maybe 500 if the fields are the right shape and nothing goes wrong.
And holy cow, I mean, this video is on April 24th.
Absolutely.
We're getting some stuff done.
Yeah. Here, I think this is my 6th spring back home on the farm, and definitely the earliest we've gotten any beans in the ground, probably by a week. Here in Preble County, it just seems like the way the rains work out in April, it's not typically till that last week of April that we can get in, but we've been lucky this year. And all the research has shown the earlier you can get soybeans in the ground year after year, the more sunlight days you can get them, the better. So we're trying to push it a little bit and get them planted.
We're talking about sort of the recurring news idea of, is there going to be a shortage of chemistry to be able to choose from? You said not so much this year, but it's one you kind of always are thinking about.
Yeah, haven't felt it, any real shortages. You hear it every year, it seems like, but Bayer announcing that the headline that they might maybe give up on the fight with Roundup, that is a little bit of a concern, because what I'm spraying right here is that's a quarter of what I'm putting out there is Roundup. So that'd be a big change to the crop protection industry as a whole. And so yeah, I mean, it's always a concern.
As far as concerns, we like to talk about positives, but why not talk about what's on the mind for the year to come. This one poses an interesting one with regard to market availability and more. What's on your mind, Adam, a younger farmer out here thinking about the future? Sure.
Well, present in mind, first and foremost is probably the trade war. Trump, what we've got with foreign trade. So many of America's great soybean crop gets exported. I think it's half of it. I'm not an expert on it, but if those trade routes do shut down, I'm not an economics professional, but that doesn't quite pencil out. We got nowhere to send them. That's going to be a problem. So probably the price of soybeans is most present in mind for any traditional grain farmer that's 50-50 on corn and beans. You're already looking at a balance sheet that says, hey, how much are we going to lose, or can we get up to break even? Can we get a little jump in the market? But that's probably what I'm most concerned about. Corn, not as much. I mean, obviously we love $5 corn. We're not there yet, but hopefully we get a little spike there. But definitely soybean demand and exports. It's probably a big concern.
Let's talk about the family before we go and join your dad over planting beans. Who's all involved in the farm, and how long have you been back here?
So my grandfather moved up here in 1962 he grew up on a dairy farm, came up here and wanted to get more into row crop and hay and stuff like that. And since then, it's been, I guess we'll just fast forward to today. It's Grandpa's still full-time here. He's 88 years old. He's around here somewhere. And then both my parents, Alan and Rachel Vonderhaar, they're both full-time. And then me and my sister, Caroline, and then my sister just got married here in August to Malik. And so Caroline and Malik are both full-time, and it's great to have Malik on the farm as well.
Very exciting. What a nice, good family operation to be able to come back to. And I will say, on your grandpa's behalf, he's recently got some cool media attention.
Absolutely.
That.
Yeah, we can talk about it. That was actually, he got a pretty invasive back surgery back in 2018 that kind of left him with just not really able to climb up into this big equipment, particularly the combine. Pretty well his whole career, he's been the combine operator. So confronted with that problem. I remember taking ag safety with Dee Jepson at Ohio State, and she had the agribility team come in to speak one day. And from there, I was like, well, I wonder if they could do anything. And Dee put me in touch with the right people and ended up getting a mechanical lift put on the combine for the 2019 harvest. And ever since then, it's been a godsend for him. It's been just a great way to keep him doing what he loves. And yeah, Ohio State did an awesome video here a couple of years later, kind of a check back in almost on that event, but so thankful to have the help from Agribility and Ohio State. It was awesome.
A cool program out there and a really cool story. We'll link it here at ohioagnet.com, and if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It's a neat piece on the Vonderhaar family, the Agribility program, and so much more. But from here, we're going to throw it over to some bean planting with Alan Vonderhaar. Adam, thanks so much.
Yeah, great. Go Bucks.
As promised, we switched fields over with the other part of the A-Team, Alan Vonderhaar, planting soybeans, 20-inch rows. Alan, thanks so much for joining us here. Just as we were speaking with Adam about how goes planting season so far. April 24th as of this recording, and pretty nice to get some acres under the wheels.
Yeah, we're off in the running. It's always nice to get started early. It's always a little scary because the only time we've had this early of a jump, it didn't work out so well. It turned dry and we had a awfully dry season. So if we would have waited and planted later, we would have had some beneficial rains, but every year is different. So it may not match that year, and let's hope we all get plenty of rain this year.
From your experience, what goes into that decision, what to plant? If a field is ready, do you forge ahead, or are there some fields that, though they're ready, maybe you say, hey, we've got plenty of acres? What's the thought process?
Yeah, I guess with it being as early as it is this year, we've not really had too many nights above 50. We finally are getting there now today, but the thought process is that everybody knows soybeans can emerge a whole lot uniform, and they can make up for it later if it's, as long as you get the stand. Versus corn, we've got to be perfect. We've got to come up emerged exactly the same. And so I guess the thought process is with the treatment of the soybeans that, it's really good these days, and the guarantee, we've got a seed company we use, they guarantee them. And so and with crop insurance, we've got enough, coverage that it's not as risky. We feel like just to go ahead and throw the chips in and let's get them going. So we're at the point though where, we haven't planted any corn, but we're within, probably a day or two, depending on the rain tomorrow, getting started with it. So, nice to get started and hope that, things turn out good.
Just exactly on that topic, right before the conversation, we were speaking about risk management is really the name of the game in modern agriculture. There's so many different decisions you can make on a daily basis, on a future planning basis. What's going through your mind as far as you think about next generation coming up, planning for the time ahead, not just this year, but years ahead, where to invest? Not a small question by any means, but I think there's some good conversation to be had there.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's kind of all different levels as far as, if you're a grain farmer, I think the best investment is tile. I mean, with land prices where they're at today, that's kind of where we're at is, let's invest more into tile. Let's improve the land. It does take a lot of risk out. We're planting early. We're planting on a lot of fields that have some systems in them. Some of them don't, but we can eliminate some risk as well by good drainage and so forth. But as far as the operation, thinking for the future, right now is a tough time to try to grow it crop wise, but I really think that the livestock end of things is a great place to be. We can utilize the manure for fertilizer and be able to benefit that way. And then, the markets are just as well that way. Cattle's been really strong, but, we'll probably dip at some point. But we're really in grain country, but we've got enough places that we could grow. We already do cow calf a little bit, so we would like to grow that a little bit more. And our kids are doing the freezer beef, everything, all the bull calves are fed out, steers to go to freezer beef and stuff. So, but we're kind of open that way. What's down the pike livestock wise, I don't know what the future holds, but we're sure looking at everything. So I guess that's where we're trying to mitigate some risk.
Equipment. I see a Kinsey planter back there.
Yep. She's probably over 20 years old, believe it or not. And so we bought it a long time ago, and it just seemed like keep rebuilding it. It does a great job for us, and the corn planter as well. We did quite a bit of updates this past winter on it. So both we've had for quite a while, and we don't really farm enough to buy new stuff every year. And so we just kind of try to take care of what we have and keep it up. So
we'd love to talk about some of those updates, because it sounds like you did utilize the sponsors of this video, Precision Agri Services.
Yes. Yeah, we started last year. We put, 2 years ago we put Conceal on, and then last year we put Reveal on the row cleaners, and this past winter we went pretty much everything in between. We already had electric drive on it, but we went with Precision's 2020 monitor, and we've got their drive units with the brushes and the whole 9 yards. So anxious to get her out of the barn and give it a try here real soon.
The time will come, but for right now, we'll stick with and focus on planting beans, and that's down here in Preble County. Joining us, Alan Vonderhaar, and also earlier in the video, Adam Vonderhaar, the A-Team. So glad to be out here joining with them, getting a good start out early in the season. With this spraying and planting cab cam, I'm Joel Norwood. Again, this video series brought to you by Precision Agri Services Incorporated. More information at precisionagriservices.com. Thanks for tuning in.
This spring's cab cam series is made possible by Precision Agri Services Inc. Since 1994, Precision Agri Services Inc. has provided the best agronomic, environmental, ag technology, planter services, and planter products to farmers and agribusinesses. For more info, visit precisionagriservices.com.